Nintendo, we love you guys, but, no one has a perfect record. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Nintendo fails. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. As some of you may have noticed, this is a redux of a previous topic we've covered about 5 years ago. Nintendo has made a few more mistakes since then, and some are a bit worse than our old entries. So it's time to give ourselves a system update and boot up some of the bigger mess-ups that might have happened in recent years.
Today, got a power struggle today. PewDiePie versus Nintendo.
Uh-oh, who's gonna win?
Number 10, Wii Music Demonstration. Oh, my ears, what the hell was that? During the E3 2008 press conference, on top of the awkward demos of Shaun White snowboarding and Wii Sports Resort, Nintendo managed to make things considerably worse by putting on a concert to demonstrate Wii Music. DJ Ravidrums was on stage to play a virtual set of, drums. This 1-minute performance quickly turned into a 1-minute experiment on how much sweat the human body could produce from flailing arms. Following this up was an off-key performance of the Super Mario Bros. Theme song, meaning that Nintendo had cooked up one cringe-worthy press conference. Number 9, Wii Mini.
And look what we have here, a Wii Mini.
As gaming consoles have advanced throughout the years, certain features have structured themselves as expectations. We're talking simple stuff here like Wi-Fi support, online connectivity, component video output or HDMI, and a healthy amount of USB ports for controllers, chargers, and the like.
We've got AV out, the sensor bar, and then the AC power in.
Released for $99 US after the Wii U was already on the market, the Wii Mini only featured composite video output and one USB port. Units were also bundled with Mario Kart Wii, a game that contains online features. Oh, and there was no backwards compatibility as well. So, why was this console even made? Your guess is as good as ours. Number 8, Nintendo 64 DD.
Itadaki!
This magnetic disk drive allowed players to take advantage of expanded storage in order to download games, create movies and animations, and even do some online gaming. If this sounds good to you, well, maybe you should have told someone over at Nintendo, because they anticipated that the 64 DD would be a commercial failure right out the gate. As a result, you could only initially get the console via mail order, and it was technically only available in Japan. Nintendo pulled the plug on the 64 DD really quickly though, canceling production about 14 months after it released, leaving some 85,000 units unsold.
Today, the 64 DD is more of a collector's piece than anything else.
Number 7, lack of third-party games for the Wii U.
Oh, but you gotta have a death wish to get close to that damn place if you ask me.
Indeed, the Wii U's library was rich in great games, but the real question is how many of those were exclusive to the Wii U and not published by Nintendo. We're not even talking about exclusive titles like Bayonetta 2, as fantastic as it is. Rather, we're talking about multi-platform titles you shouldn't have to buy on other consoles like GTA 5, The Witcher 3, or Dark Souls. On top of that, third-party titles that were released for the Wii U, like Watch Dogs, were far inferior versions and missing super important features. Fortunately, Nintendo seems to have addressed this issue with the Switch getting a few select third-party titles, though time will tell if they can keep this momentum going.
But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
Number 6, NES and SNES Classic Edition shortages.
Hey, do you have any NES Classic Editions? Kind of a stupid question, you probably don't.
Like some sort of urban legend, these flashback consoles are probably something you've heard of but never actually seen in person. Taking the form of a glorified $60 emulator, the NES Classic contained 30 of the greatest NES games that graced the original console. Unfortunately, pre-orders were sold out almost instantaneously, and all major retailers suffered low stock numbers. To give you an idea of why it's hard to find one, Nintendo stated just before Christmas of 2016 that they had sold 200,000 units in the US alone, but that country has millions of Nintendo fans. The SNES Classic in 2017 did have a less rocky launch with 2.3 million sales in its first month, but it still suffered from shortages worldwide. Baby steps, you guys. Baby steps.
Now you're playing with power.
Number 5, Philips CDI.
And your mom says, no dear, CDI works with your television.
It might not technically be a Nintendo console, but we're going to show you why this is on the list. Now, we could go on about the abysmal quality, but the issue here is in the games. Yeah, these games.
Link, go to Gamelon and find my father.
Great! I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos!
Nintendo licensed some of their properties for the Philips CDI, which birthed the abominations of Hotel Mario, Zelda Wand of Gamelon, Zelda's Adventure, and Link, Faces of Evil. These titles had awful game design, and some of the most laughable cutscenes in gaming history. Just look at this. This was basically a dark time that no one likes to talk about, but no one will really forget either. If we could sum up our feelings for the Philips CDI, I think this cutscene could say it all. Number 4, Wii U Marketing Campaign.
And a runner on second. Swing and a miss. 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
Consider this to be part 2 of the Wii U's demise. After the success of the Wii, many of us wanted to know what Nintendo could do to top themselves. Under the name Project Cafe, we didn't get an idea of the console until its reveal in 2011, which technically led to more questions. As if the name wasn't confusing enough, the trailer released kept advertising the tablet while showing people playing with the same old Wii remotes. So many people were confused. Was this a new console or some peripheral to neglect like that balance board? Hardcore Nintendo fans definitely knew there was a new console coming, but for your average consumer, that really wasn't properly spelled out and nobody knew what it was.
The games we love to play are on Wii U this holiday. Games rated E to E10+. And that's how it's done.
Number 3, Nintendo Creators Program.
Seriously? This is what you do on YouTube? If I do a review, I'm gonna deal with this shit, Nintendo, really?
With Let's Plays and gaming personalities exploding across YouTube, many companies are hell-bent to try and capitalize on this phenomenon while at the same time controlling their image and publicity. Nintendo joined the ranks with EA and Warner Brothers in 2015 when they announced their infamous Nintendo Creators Program. But, spoiler alert, they went way too overboard with their restrictions. Basically, you can make videos using Nintendo's IPs, but they get a share of the ad revenue, and your videos must be approved by Nintendo in order to be uploaded. Oh, and you can only make videos for a small selection of approved games. The strict guidelines and dominant attitude created huge backlash, with many high-profile Let's Players choosing simply not to play Nintendo games. Thus, Nintendo missed out on a lot of free promotion that they probably needed for that Wii U.
This petty shit is really that important to you?
Number 2, Virtual Boy.
There's only one problem. It needs your eyes.
Long before the 3DS, Nintendo had previously attempted to make a step into 3D gaming. Released in 1995, the Virtual Boy was a virtual reality headset that sort of looked like a set of chunky binoculars. It wasn't much of a technical achievement either. It used a red monochrome display, which gave you really sore eyes, and failed to accomplish the 3D effect. To add insult to injury, quite literally, many players reported extreme discomfort when using the device, with issues ranging from nausea to headaches to neck pain and sore eyes. Credit where credit is due, Nintendo has gone on record to acknowledge this hiccup in history. Good on you, boys.
We don't joke about Virtual Boy, man. It's listening.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
The game is inside the cards. New e-reader for Game Boy Advance.
Number 1, inadvertently creating the PlayStation.
I got a little surprise for you here. Check it out. What do you think about that? We got real-time, 3D, lush organic environments.
Long before Nintendo and Sony were rivals in the console market, they were originally going to work together to create a little-known project called the SNES CD, aka the PlayStation, 2 words. Unfortunately, contractual disagreements caused that partnership to end prematurely, and instead we got those Philips CDI games we mentioned earlier. Skip ahead to December 1994, Sony found themselves a massive success with their brand new console, the PlayStation, 1 word, establishing themselves as a new competitor for Nintendo. Since then, Sony have had massive success in the home console market since their debut, even up to today with the PS4. And to think they could have been partners. Do you agree?